Hey guys, Editing Joy here. Listen, I just wanted to give you guys a quick trigger warning. This video may deal with loss of family members. This video may deal with essay, unaliving, self-unaliving. So if that bothers you at any point, please, we totally understand. Click away. You do not have to watch. Thanks in advance if you do. And if you don't, we totally understand. So, on to the video.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Joy and Jazz Review.
Hello, where we review things that we deem reviewable and we give it to you via our opinion. So, yeah, a few things before we get started today.
We want to start off by welcoming our new subscribers and welcoming back our returning subscribers.
Thanks, guys. We really appreciate you. Also, we wanted to talk about the past week here in Middle Tennessee, the storms and 6 tornadoes that went through. We have all been affected by it. Our prayers and thoughts are with the families who have been struck hard with loss, and we just want you guys to know that we support you
100%.
and we're always thinking about you. So, and then let's talk about Jasmine's faux pas.
Mine.
Well, I mean, was it Nena's faux pas?
We blame Jenna. We decided.
We're blaming everybody but Jasmine. That's the point.
It can't be my fault.
Jasmine took a tumble a few days ago and she hurt her knee. So if you see her readjusting, it's because it's really hard for her to find
Or like wincing, going.
Yeah, poor baby. She's in it for the long haul though. And so on Tuesday we've got an MRI scheduled to see if we can get her fixed up.
It's so bad I gotta see a specialist.
A knee specialist.
I was just like,
Congratulations.
I was gonna hurt myself.
You were gonna go big. So what are we doing today?
So today we are doing our book/movie review of Bag of Bones by Stephen King.
Bag of Bones by Stephen King. This one was a good one.
It was a good one. It was really good.
Yeah, it was a really good one. Bag of Bones is just like, I was slightly disappointed with The Mist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I feel like Bag of Bones is like redeeming on the Stephen King front. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. So what kind of story would you say it is, and what kind of audience would you say this pertains to?
So this is like a paranormal thriller-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And also we want to put a trigger warning.
Yes.
Essay.
Yes.
And unaliving.
Yes, definitely. We're and child unaliving. So yeah, trigger warning, guys. If you click off, we totally understand. But this book had it all. This book had some really, really tough parts. So yeah, but it took us forever to read it because again, it was over 500 and some change pages.
Too long. I was like, that's a lot of words on one page.
And it really was very small print. But yeah.
So the audience,
yeah,
maybe like I don't know, like older-ish, 30s.
Older-ish is 30 to you?
Well, not like young. I mean, like definitely like not like teens and like.
So it's not a young adult.
Yeah,
it's more of a mid-adult.
Yeah,
mid-adult.
How's it?
Like, holy crap, 30 is old to you?
Yeah,
like
5 more years, so I'm there.
I'm way past that expiration date. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I don't know. I think like maybe a younger person would probably read a bit and be like, this isn't for me.
Yeah. They'd stop. So
what do you think the main conflict is?
Okay, so this one is kind of hard because you think that the main conflict is in the beginning when Mike Noonan loses his wife, Joe, right? In the book, she dies from a brain aneurysm. So you, in the beginning, you think this is the main conflict, him going through and dealing with the death of his wife. But in all actuality, it's not. The main conflict,
Bigger than that.
yeah, it's so much bigger than that. And so the main conflict has to do with this location in Maine of a cabin that they own called Sarah Laughs. And the history of the then and now. So yeah, it is so, and the fact that his wife was dealing with the then before she died.
Yeah.
So
she found out the deep dark secrets.
Yeah, of Sarah Laughs. And it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot. So yeah, the main conflict is basically past colliding with present, I want to say. So what do you think?
Yeah, definitely like that. I called Mom when I was watching the movie, which like is like a TV miniseries,
Right.
split into two parts. I was like, so like she told me that the wife died differently,
right,
in the movie, and she's like, yeah, she gets hit by a bus. So after it happened, I'm like 9 minutes in, I'm like, this woman got bodied by the bus.
Yes.
I'm like, and she's looking the other way. Like, she didn't look both ways.
Right. She never looked. Isn't that the first thing you learn as a kid in crossing streets is look both ways?
And she's just like walking. She's like, And then she gets plowed by this bus.
She was plowed down. And the bus driver wasn't looking either. Couldn't have been. There were no brakes. Yeah. Like, yeah, he just takes her off.
Vendetta against the wife. Yeah. I was like, ooh, I hate Mike Noonan.
Right. That last book, man. So Mike Noonan is a author.
Yes.
And he's not like this big literary genius. He's a mid-grade author in the book, you know, and yeah, that's one of the big differences in the book between, you know, the book and the movie is in the book, she dies of a brain aneurysm that she didn't know she had. And in the movie, she gets plowed down by a bus.
It was a big leap.
It was huge. That was massive. So yeah, but in both the book and the both the book and the movie, there was a car accident. So yeah.
Yeah. See?
What's the setting of the story?
So in the book, it says that it's in Derry, Maine.
Right.
Starting out, he was talking about she went to Derry's, Rite Aid, or CVS or something.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, it starts there.
In the book, it is set in Derry, Maine. In the movie, it never quite says where he is. It kind of looks like New York.
Yeah, it looked real city.
It did look really city. And I've never been to Derry, Maine. If you guys have ever been to Derry, Maine, I don't know if it's a big, like, city type. I always want to think it's small town because like in It,
right,
you know, that was set in Derry, Maine, and it was a small town vibe to it. So I'm not sure, but yeah, I felt like he was in New York City in the movie as opposed to Derry, Maine in the book. So that was another major difference.
I like the nods. So in the movie, it has Pierce Brosnan in it, and
love him.
So like his wife and him, like he always has her write the last line in his books.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, "Are you trying to get laid?" And he's like, "I mean, that was the goal." And she's just like, "We have ways of making you talk." And then when he's in a bookstore doing a book signing, when his wife gets hit by the bus, and before that, one of the guys comes up with a bunch, like a big pile of his books, and he's like, "I'm your biggest fan," and she's
Like,
just
to
like,
your best friend.
and then she's just like, "Well, enjoy Annie Wilkes over here." So I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
nod to Misery there."
Misery, yeah. It really, I am an author, right? And I have to, there are times when I have to autograph books. And there are times where people are like, make sure you sign it like this. It has to say it like this. But I have yet to have that one person go, make sure you sign it to your best friend. I was like, okay. Okay.
Oh.
Be like,
If there's a wiki page on you, that would be crazy.
we'll look it up at some point. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, how does the setting of the story affect the plot?
Okay. So in the book, he is in Derry, right? And Sarah Laughs is also in Maine. So the drive from his house to Sarah Laughs is like a half a day. But in the movie, he leaves in the morning and he doesn't get to Sarah's Laugh until late at night. And you're just like, he must have been in New York. And was that applicable? Like, did that make a difference? You see what I'm saying? Because he didn't drive all night long in the book.
Yeah.
Although, and we talked about this, in the book, it took him 4 years to get to Sarah Laughs. So in the book, for the first, like, I don't know how many chapters, he is dealing with the loss of his wife. And so he's putting out book after book every year, but they're squirreled away books he talks about. They're books that he has written before and just put them in a safety deposit box at the bank,
right,
so that they would be safe. And so that's how he's releasing books, because he's got severe writer's block. He can't even sit at his computer without getting sick. And in the movie, he decides that in order for him to write, he's got to go to Sarah Laughs, because that's where he feels that his wife's spirit is. So yeah, 4 years, like it's a huge gap. And by the time he goes to Sarah Laughs, I've read this much book, and there's still this much to go. There's just so much.
the whole book.
So, what is the inciting incident?
His wife dying.
I think so too. Why does it strike you that part?
That was like the big thing. I mean, like if she hadn't have died, she probably wouldn't have gone to the place. But I mean, she probably would have taken care of everything that had to be done there.
Yeah.
Without telling him.
Right.
Like the deep dark history.
Yeah, exactly. I think that her dying and then the dreams that he was having, because he kept having dreams. Even in the book, he kept having dreams about his wife and her empty coffin, and just this awful, these awful vivid dreams, to where this grown-ass man was urinating on himself, while he was sleeping, because it scared him so badly. And so, yeah, if she hadn't have died, he wouldn't have been pushed to, do what he needed to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I agree. I think she would have handled it.
Yeah. She'd be like, he doesn't need it now. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take care of it.
And that was the big thing, was she went to the Rite Aid to get a pregnancy test. And it turned out that she was having a daughter, which in the book, she was 7 weeks pregnant. In the movie, she was
like almost 9 or something.
Yeah. weeks pregnant. And they were like, yes, you're having a girl. Now, scientifically, you guys, yes, you can take a test and it will tell you if you're having a boy and a girl very early on in your pregnancy. But just so you guys know, all babies start off as girls to a certain point. So I'm not sure when that turnover is. So if she was super, super early, then, you know, yes, she would have been having a girl, because they all babies start off as girls. So I don't know. You see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, because I called you about that. I was like, that's early. That's early for someone to be all like, yes, this is the gender of your baby.
Right.
It didn't
Right.
make sense.
Now, you can there are blood tests nowadays where at, I think, 15 weeks. As soon as 15 weeks, you can find out what you're having. But I don't think 7 and 9 weeks. I think that's too early.
Yeah.
So, just a little science for you there.
So, how would you describe the main characters?
So, there's really only, there's only one main character.
Yeah.
And his name is Mike Noonan. He is a mediocre author who loses his wife, and he decides that he has to go to his cabin in the book to write, in the in the movie to write, in the book to close it off. He doesn't. He's gonna sell it. So
Smart.
Mm-hmm.
Use that money.
Yeah. Because he's already published all his Squirrel Away novels, and he doesn't see himself writing. He keeps calling it the back 40, the last 40 years of his life. And he's like, well, what are you going to do, Noonan, for your back 40? Because for him, writing is not an option anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah. How would you describe him?
He's I don't know. He's cool. I liked him, like, especially in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, he was like standing up for the little guy.
He really was. Yeah. And he does in the book too. He's not very wishy-washy. He doesn't strike me as a very wishy-washy character. He was a very solid writer. Good job, Mr. King. Good job. Do the characters feel real?
Not really.
You don't think so?
No.
I think his pain in the book was real enough as a character, but in the movie, it was so accelerated, you know what I mean, that you just really couldn't get a feel for it. Like, because he really did struggled for years after Joe died in the book. You know, it was so long and drawn out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
that'd be awful.
It would be awful. Okay, especially because he had wrapped his whole being, including his career, around his wife. In the book, it describes it as if he had never met her, he would have never written his first novel. So she was the driving force within himself to write books. You see what I'm saying? Not that she was like, go write books. She never forced him, because she was an artist.
Yeah.
She never forced him to go write books, but in her being there, he was able to create. And when she wasn't there, he wasn't able to do anything but think about how she wasn't there.
Yeah. He's not like what's his name? David in The Mist.
In The Mist.
He really like was like, my wife, and I love my wife. But then David was just like,
there's Amanda.
Hey, girl.
After 2 days.
I don't know if my wife is dead or alive, but hey. How you doing?
Mike would never. I mean, honestly, he barely even, what was her name?
Like, not Millie. It started with an M.
It did start with an M. Miranda?
I don't remember. But her actress in the movie looked very familiar.
Yeah, I don't like the way her teeth move. I don't like the way her mouth moves. But anyway, that's neither here or there. The child's name was Kara.
Yeah. I didn't like the kid. She was very whiny. But I think it was just, like, the age.
Her age.
They were just like, yeah, we need you to cry. And it was just whiny. And I just hated it. Every time she was like, Mike!
Mr. Mike, I'm scared!
I was like, oh my goodness, smack her.
Jasmine!
I'm sorry. I was just like,
y'all have to excuse Jasmine. She normally is very, empathetic and sympathetic, but today her knee hurts.
I mean, I wouldn't do it.
She's got zero fucks today.
Mike's a different man.
That's right.
So, how would you describe the minor characters?
Okay, so in the minor characters, you've got the producer.
Yes. Who was played by
Jason Priestley.
Brendan Walsh.
Yeah, Brandon Walsh. Not the producer. He was his agent, not producer. Agent. And then you've got, in the book, he's got a brother. Sid.
In the movie, he's got a brother.
No.
In the book,
it's
her brother.
Right. So in the book, it's her brother. In the movie, it's his brother. And his brother's name is Sid. Then you've got a whole town of yahoos. Again, you guys.
Wackadoodles.
Yeah. If you're from Maine, could you please let me know if you have your own type of redneck? I would like to know, because I feel like maybe these people are being exaggerated, but at the same time, I'm like, but are they?
Maybe they're like them. I don't know.
You see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
So if you're from Maine, please let us know. Do you guys have your own brand of redneck? Like, do we call them Yankee necks? I was just like, did I just brand a new name?
Jeez.
So, but yeah, those are and Kira's mom.
Yeah.
And those are the minor characters, including Kira's father-in-law or Kira's grandfather, the mom's father-in-law, who's trying to take the daughter away for whatever reason.
I don't remember his name.
There.
Unimportant.
Yeah, he was very unimportant, but creepy as all get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just not cool. So,
yeah.
Who is the villain?
The grandfather.
You think the grandfather is the villain?
Oh, yeah.
From the beginning.
This is all his fault.
It is all his fault. All his fault. So, backstory. Sarah Laughs was named after a jazz singer named Sarah. And Kira's grandfather, Noonan's grandfather, and a bunch of other townies decided that they wanted to go and essay this jazz singer. And she fights them. But in the interim of her fighting them, her daughter witnesses it all. And so not only do they essay her, but they end up unaliving the daughter. And then she curses them to unalive their own daughters the same way they unalived her daughter in order to kill out the line. And then he unalives her. So that's what happened. That's what started everything. So every generation. All right, so where were we? Sorry, before the light went out and I had to go and see if I could fix it, but I can't, so I'm going to have to order a new ring light. Darn it. Just as we get the lighting right.
I know it. I have nothing on Christmas.
So yeah, from the beginning, he is the reason that all of this is happening. So throughout the generations, all of these fathers, grandfathers, and so on have been unaliving their own daughters by drowning.
Yes. And that's the reason he wanted to adopt Kira.
Right. To try to save her from the cycle. And that's why the wife hadn't told him that she was pregnant, because she was afraid she was having a daughter and she wanted to stop the cycle before their daughter was born.
Fix it.
So yeah, the grandfather, totally the villain.
He is. So, who is telling the story?
It is told in third person. So Stephen King is telling the story.
Mr. King!
That's right. All hail, Mr. King. The story is told from Mike Noonan's point of view, though. So Mike Noonan is not telling the story. Stephen King is telling the story, but it's all from what Mike Noonan sees. So what do you think? You think I'm right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looked,
Yeah. How should we feel about what's happening?
it's always a hard question.
That is the worst question, I swear. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel bad. Like, I feel bad for the jazz singer. And like, I also feel bad for the daughters who died.
Yeah.
So
This book and the movie were fantastic, but I feel like it was an emotional roller coaster through the whole thing, where you never got the happy feeling. Like you went up, but dropped so fast, because it was all just so much tragedy, one right after the other. And it was just like, but it was so good that you just couldn't stop.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah.
I even thought, like, at the end that he was gonna be all like, let's go for a boat ride, and then he was gonna take her.
Yes.
Drown her.
Yes. I was just like, man.
I was like, that would.
I would move so far away from the water
and
after
then
that.
The jazz singer just ha 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 ha, laughing.
That's right. That's right. I mean, what do you think? There really wasn't a happiness.
No, like right when he gets with the girl's mom, she gets shot in the cheek.
Yeah.
Blows out the back of her head.
Yeah.
I was just like,
yeah.
Dang, I was like, he's gonna get.
That's another thing. In the movie, she's like, take care of Kira. How are you just gonna give your child to somebody just randomly?
Well, she knew that he cared about her.
Well, yeah, but the law doesn't work that way.
I know. I was thinking about it too at the end. I was just like, so like he's just gonna be taking care of her, and they're just gonna be like, okay.
Yeah. Oh, like the law doesn't allow that stuff. I mean, you can't just be like, take care of my daughter, and then you just walk out with her. That's not how that works.
I don't know.
There is due process, y'all. Just FYI.
Alright, so how did the characters struggle as a result of their decisions?
That's a hard one too.
Yeah. I mean, like they made pretty good decisions.
I think so. In the book, for the longest time, Mike didn't want to make a decision. You know, he just he was actively avoiding decision making.
Drinking himself to death.
Yeah, in the book as well, you know, and I feel like when the decisions were thrust upon him, he finally got there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I feel like he did make really good decisions. I feel like he made solid decisions. What about you?
Yeah. Taking care of Kira.
Yeah.
And killing that lady, stabbing that girl in the neck.
It was Yeah, she sucks.
She definitely does. She was like, "I'm gonna kill the whorelet," which I'm assuming is like a buntlet, you know, because it's a little bunt cake.
A little punk. The ones you
So
get at Nothing But Cakes.
yeah, so she's like the little whore. I will kill her. She must die.
Yes. Yes. That woman was creepy.
Yeah.
The movie, whoever casted her, good on you, dude.
Yeah.
Good on you.
She was like, she killed the grandfather, and she's all like stroking. She's
with the kiss. Yes. And he's all happy to die. And I was like, this is awful. This is awful. And then they're like, he killed himself. He had help.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's legal in Maine. Again, if you guys know, drop a comment down below. Let's see. What do you think about the characters' choices? Like, do you think, like, we've determined that they made good decisions. Do you think their choices worked out?
So, the hard thing here is, so, like, does it matter where they work? Would the curse still get them? Do they have to specifically be in the place for it to affect them or not?
You know what? That is a good question because they never said.
Like everybody that had done it to their daughters
never left the town.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they never said. That's a good question. Yeah. So had he never gone to Sarah Laughs, would it have affected him later down the line? Although I don't see Mike Noonan ever getting remarried because Joan literally was the love of his life. Yeah. But he did try it on with Kira's mom. Like he did, but again, she got dead. So
like, dang, I can't say, man.
Everybody's killing the women I have affections for.
This lady's
bus
like,
driver.
Hey Mike, how you doing? He's like, don't talk to me. Leave me alone.
I'm saving your life.
You enjoy breathing? Get away from me.
It's true. But they never, like, if he had taken Kira, right? And Kira's mom, right then, and left, would it have affected him? That's a good question. But that never becomes a choice for him. Because he had a whole house in Derry. He could have gone anywhere.
I don't know.
I don't either. In the book, though, it wasn't his grandfather because he had never been to Sarah's. He purchased Sarah Laughs. But in the movie, it was left to him by his dad. So, yeah.
So, what would you rate this?
You know, I've thought about this for a long time. This book was literally like, it really runs you over the coals where the feeling and the emotion. I would give the book a 4.5 because that beginning part of 4 years was just so long for me, right? It was, I understand that you needed to see what Mike was going through, but at the same time, 4 years? Like, you couldn't, like, skip ahead, Mr. King? You just needed that word count? I'm just saying. The movie, I would give 5 stars. I would give 5 stars because the movie was excellent. It had just the right amount of mystery and intrigue. It had just the right amount of ghosts for me. I liked that they added the ghosts, it had just the right amount of violence. I really enjoyed it. What about you?
I think probably the book would be a 4 and the movie would probably also be a 4. But the only thing that didn't make sense to me in the movie is because the 2 dudes are driving the truck. They're trying to kill the little girl.
Sign.
The sign comes down, they hit it, and they just explode.
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense.
None.
That would not happen.
That was Hollywood.
It's just like, I didn't know Michael Bay was producing this movie.
Yeah, I was just like, I looked at your dad and I was like, did you see that?
Eviscerated.
Just.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It wouldn't happen.
It was crazy. So a 4 across the board.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I can honestly say I honestly enjoyed this book, though.
It was good. Yeah.
I honestly enjoyed this book. So.
And I don't know when it came out, but the movie came out in 2011.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah. When the book came out.
Yeah.
The book had to have been out for a little while before the movie came out. You know, here's the one difference that I did notice in the movie from the book. Stephen King, he does they do a lot of his books as movies, and usually he makes a cameo. I don't remember seeing him in the movie.
I was thinking about that. I was just like, I wonder when Mr. King is going to come on screen.
Yeah, and he didn't. He was not in this one. I didn't see him. I do not recall. If you guys have seen Bag of Bones, and you remember seeing a part where Stephen King was in it, could you please let us know? Because I missed it.
Yeah.
I missed it. So what do we got coming up for next week?
So next week, we are going to Mom Found, where we can watch It's a Wonderful Knife.
Yes.
So we will be watching that and doing a movie review.
Mm-hmm. I don't have high hopes for it because it was in theaters literally like 2 weeks, and now it's directly to streaming service. So I really don't have like high hopes for this one.
It's like different.
So but we are going to do that. Then the next week, because next week is not Christmas, Christmas is the week after, right?
What? No, next Monday.
Next Monday is Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Christ. You guys, this year is going by so fast. I can't keep up. But that's going to be, so the week after that is when we're doing the drunken Q&A. So remember to get your questions in so that we can entertain you with our drunken answers.
Hopefully my knee is healed up so I don't trip up the stairs.
Oh, yeah, because, no.
I fall over, man.
She really does. Also, I just wanted to let you guys know that my books, the Obsidian Guardian series, written by me, J.B. Coates, is available on Amazon. And they are available in online sales on Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, wherever you can find books. They are available on ebook. And the first book is actually available on Audible. So you guys check out what I've been doing for the last few years. The first book is called Integrity, and they're about gargoyles and magic and sex and stuff. You guys will love it. Also, I have an Etsy store, The Chosen Foundry. It is a JB Coates Etsy store where I make everything and anything spooky all year long. There's not any live, laugh, love, but if you are spooky year long, I got you. So check that out.
So our goal on our subscriber count is going to be 40 subscribers. We're trying to hit that by, I'm going to say, maybe the end of next month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we're only 12 away. So 12.
High five.
Let's go.
Yes.
So just remember, subscribing is free.
Yes.
You just gotta click a little button.
That's right.
That's it.
Sharing, also free.
Yeah.
Just gotta click a button. And commenting, also free. We actually want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, love to read comments. There's only sometimes there's one or two, and we appreciate those.
Yeah.
But start a conversation. Let's go.
Yeah. I want to see a comment trail. So just drop us a little dime and we will definitely message you back. As always, you guys, thank you for being here with us. And we want to see you guys next week. And so, bye.